Today on Chapman News. Growth at the university has increased exponentially in the past 5 years, but now there's a slight problem for Chapman moving forward.
Plus, the city of Anaheim builds a skate park to honor a fallen citizen.
And meet the new boss. Chapman President Daniele Strupa is in the house to talk about his plans for the university. Chapman News is live. Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to Chapman News. I'm Jessica Metter.
And I'm Tori White. We have a great show here for you today, so let's get started. A man in Costa Mesa was murdered on Wednesday after being attacked with a hammer. According to an eyewitness on scene, the man was repeatedly hit with the hammer through his car window. The victim then got out of the car and was attacked again by the suspect with the hammer. A close friend of the suspect said he came to see her the night before the murder and was yelling about a chip in his head that didn't seem well. The suspect was identified as 50-year-old Ivan Ernev Chernob of Costa Mesa. The victim's name has not been released.
The American Planning Association has named downtown Santa Ana as one of 5 great neighborhoods on its annual Great Places in America list. The Great Places in America program recognizes streets, neighborhoods, and public spaces in the U.S. that demonstrate exceptional character, quality, and planning, attributes that enrich communities, facilitate economic growth, and inspire others around the country. Residents of Santa Ana say they are committed to creating a tight-knit, thriving community that celebrates diversity through festivals and public celebrations. Santa Ana is the 4th densest large city in the U.S., according to the association.
The city of Anaheim will build a skate park to honor teen Logan Wells, who was struck by a car while skateboarding in 2014. Logan was only 16 years old when he died and was best known for always having his skateboard in hand. The skate park will be the first of its kind in East Anaheim and will cater to skaters in Anaheim Hills, Yorba Linda, and Placentia. Logan's parents hope it will be a place for kids to enjoy and where Logan's spirit will live on.
Chipotle workers were caught by surprise Wednesday during a robbery of the Mexican food chain. The robber walked in at 8 a.m., demanded cash at gunpoint, and forced the employees into a freezer. Surveillance footage shows that masked suspect getting into a white Honda Civic after the robbery. The suspect is described as being 5'7" to 5'10" and weighing between 160 and 180 pounds. Anyone with information is urged to call the Orange Police Department at 714-777-7470.
Few schools in the country have grown like this one in the last generation. Chapman University has doubled in size, added new colleges, clubs, sports, a performing arts center, on and on. But as Dee Dee Droege reports, Chapman's growth is now running into a space problem.
Looking at the recent history of Chapman University, it's hard to deny that expansion and Chapman have become synonymous. But for the first time in decades, this school's growth is plateauing, shrinking down to a record low of just 2% per year.
Chapman University has been a university on the rise for the past 20 years. With the help of former President Jim Doty, Chapman University has been growing at an exponential rate. But in the next couple of years, we are unfortunately going to have to be putting a bit of a cap on the number of students who can attend this university.
As more and more young students gain interest in the school, we are forced to question the effect on the city's community.
So I've lived in Orange County for 54 years. I have lived in the city of Orange for 44 years.
And in those 44 years, Chapman's population has more than tripled.
I think we're going to have to just come up with new, different ways to house all these students, because right now it is tight, it is hard, but the university's been here a very long time, and we have to continue to grow if we want to have strong programs.
But other residents tend to disagree. The lack of housing and simple space for these students concerning longtime homeowners, excessive construction, and lack of transportation are also putting a damper on growth.
Until Chapman can gain further approval from the city and grow geographically,
The new formula for admittance means that the student body can only increase by an extra 28 students per year. The newfound popularity of the school means that as Chapman's reputation grows, the capacity to accept more students shrinks. Dee Drogi, Chapman News.
Here in the studio, we have the pleasure of talking with the man who is responsible for handling all of Chapman's growth, our new president, Daniele Strupa.
Thank you so much for joining us today, President Strupa.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Yes. So it must be still an amazing feeling coming off fresh from inauguration, and I have to say you have some big shoes to fill. So how long have you been prepared to take on this role, and what does it feel like now that you're finally here?
Well, as you know, I joined Chapman 10 years ago, 2006, and so I worked with Jim for 10 years, and the last 4 or 5 clearly were preparation for this new role. Now I've been in the role for 2 months. I'm having fun. I think the university is in fantastic shape. We have obviously challenges like every complex organization, but I'm very optimistic and I'm just enjoying what I'm doing.
Great. Could you give us some details of 5 years, 10-year plans you have for Chapman?
Sure. Well, I think when you manage a complex organization, and Chapman definitely is such, you have kind of 3 baskets that you look at. One are the unresolved issues. Second basket is consolidation of recent successes, something that you've launched and you want to make sure that the rocket goes where it's supposed to go. And finally, 3 are new ideas, the future. So when I look at the existing issues, unresolved issues, one is certainly the one that you referred to in the first part of the show, which is the growth. How do we develop a collaborative relationship with the city? I was very happy, to be honest, during the week of inauguration. We had lots of meetings with the city. We had wonderful events together. I think there is a lot of goodwill, and I'm looking forward to working with them to find a way to satisfy both our needs and, of course, the very legitimate need that the city has. Second basket, we said, is the consolidation. Again, you mentioned before the new Musco Center for the Arts. You know, the Los Angeles Times defined it as the best opera house in the West, and maybe even more. We had what we call, I think it's not even the inaugural season, the pre-season, from March to June. It was a fantastic success. But now what we're going to have is the real first season, the inaugural season of the center. And that's going to be something we need to follow very carefully. We need to make sure we have the appropriate financial support, the appropriate budgeting, the appropriate resources, because we want this to be a smashing success, because that's what will consolidate the image of the Musco Center in people's mind. We have a new school, the School of Communication, that just started, I think, July 1st. That's another new entity on campus that we need to provide the kind of support to make sure they're successful. And then there is the third basket, the future. What are we looking for in the future? I think we are looking for new residence halls, for example, that they're connected. As you noted, the third basket in some way is connected with the first. The issues that you have to resolve, you resolve them by looking at the future. And one of the things that everybody knows I'm really interested in is considering the possibility of an engineering school. We are building, if you walk through campus, you see the wonderful steel skeleton that is next to our Wilson Field. That steel skeleton is going to be the science center. It's going to be 140,000 square feet. It's the largest building ever built by Chapman. It's the most expensive building at $130 million. And there is going to be a wing of that building that I hope we can be designating for engineering.
Great. So for our final question, big night tomorrow night. Chapman celebrates, formerly known as American Celebrates. So could you tell us a little bit why we changed that name after such a long tradition of it?
Yes, very good question, and I'm going to actually mention that on stage as well. I think the idea is to really put the focus on Chapman. American Celebration was born in 1981. Chapman was a relatively small entity, not just physically small, but also in terms of the impact on the intellectual and national community. Chapman now is a nationally recognized university. In some areas, we are known across the world. So I think the idea is to put an emphasis on the name Chapman. The point of the celebration is really to showcase the incredible talent, energy, and passion of our students. I was very fortunate to spend a week with them, rehearsing and going around the stage in the last week. And it's just fantastic. I was mentioning to somebody before I came here on stage how proud I feel when I spend time with the students and I see not only their talent, which is incredible, but their passion, their commitment, their kindness to one each other, to me, to everybody else, to the staff. And so I think that that's the idea of Chapman Celebrates. We showcase the best that we have.
Of course, and it's going to be an amazing night. Well, thank you so much for joining us, President Strupa. We really enjoyed having you here in the studio.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Even though we'll only be around for the last part, or for the first part of your presidency, I'm so excited to see what you have in store.
Thank you. Well, you can always come back for a
Yeah,
master
I will.
plan.
True.
Coming up, Chapman hosts its first annual horror VR film screening, and we were there to see it all.
And the city of Buena Park celebrates Halloween with law enforcement and local kids in town.
And it's currently 80 degrees here in Orange. Pretty toasty for a November fall day, but I will have your 5-day forecast and a possible cooling trend right when we come back for Chapman News.
Follow your dreams. Chapman University. Take your life to new heights. Chapman University. Invest your humanity. Lead.
Cam 3.
Follow your dreams. Chapman University. History, philosophy, peace studies, languages. Study abroad and explore the world. Become a global citizen. The Wilkinson College at Chapman University. Invest your humanity. Lead.
A major tech company is taking its feud with Microsoft offline and onto a full-page ad in the New York Times. Robert Rosenfeld explains why and wraps up all the tech news on this week's Week in Tech.
If you're looking to get a jump start on your Christmas shopping, there's no longer a need to wait for Black Friday or even Cyber Monday. Amazon has already begun what they are calling the Countdown to Black Friday Deals Week, with products available at steep discounts. You can find anything from cookware to electronics to fashion accessories offered at big price cuts right now. The temptation is high, but you may want to hold off until the official Black Friday sale. Amazon has a pretty stellar track record of offering some insanely great deals on Black Friday. Though Microsoft has long tried to avoid being the dull and boring software company for businesses,
Vista's here, and it's not going to have any of the problems that Windows XP had. It's not going to have any of the problems that Windows ME had. It's not going to have any of the problems that Windows 98 had.
they're now taking a moment to embrace that reputation. On Wednesday, the Redmond-based software giant launched Microsoft Teams, a new service exclusive for businesses that integrates all of Microsoft's core business tools in one app. The new service couples together Skype, Microsoft Office, and OneNote to allow teams to collaborate and work easily from anywhere in the world. But the seemingly dull and typical business announcement did not come without some drama. The longtime leader in business collaboration software has been Slack, and the company took out a full-page ad in Wednesday's New York Times to welcome Microsoft into the software category and give them some friendly advice. They ended the ad by saying that they are here to stay no matter what Microsoft does with its software. The whole ad was an eerie reminder of what Apple said to IBM in 1981. We shall prevail. Just when you thought everyone you possibly knew could be on Facebook, the social network platform keeps adding more people. During their earnings report this week, Facebook announced it now has 1.79 billion users on its site, up 16% from last year alone. That's almost 1/7 of the entire world population. The company went on to announce it earned over $7 billion in profit this quarter, surpassing the $6.9 billion that analysts predicted. Facebook also said that they plan to build up their data center infrastructure as well as continue to build and develop the Facebook Live video platform. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and that's the Week in Tech.
Halloween may be over, but for one group at Chapman, the scares are just beginning. The Harvest is Chapman's first virtual reality horror film and was created by Chapman's virtual reality club members and students at Dodge. You begin the Harvest experience inside a dimly lit room with your virtual reality headset before you are strapped to your chair like your character in the film. At first, the harvest seems like any other horror film with a crazed farmer and a murderous scarecrow, but the real experience begins once you start to look around. Unlike normal horror films, you're given a 360 view of your prison and a front row seat to the gruesome acts and its villains.
I came over on Tuesday and to Luke's place, and he said, "Taos, you've got to try this." And I put on the headset, and I was actually probably freaked out.
Driving the 8-minute film, you can explore the barn where the story takes place in the Harvest video game. But be sure to expect a few scares as you go. The Harvest was the Virtual Reality Club's first big project, but won't be their last.
Overall, it's a really good. Pretty much just a small little club. It's growing as well, but it's a club where you can come in, talk about virtual reality, try new things, bounce around ideas, pitch ideas, and if you want people to come onto your project. And overall, it's a really good club. So, and I expect many great things to come out of it.
The Virtual Reality Club at Chapman has even more plans for the future, so stay tuned.
Netflix may finally be adding the ability to watch shows and movies offline, but it's not going to be available for you. In an interview with CNBC, Netflix executive Ted Sarandos discussed the streaming giant's commitment to adapting the streaming service to different markets. He said that most countries have Wi-Fi available almost everywhere and broadband internet infrastructures that continue to grow, so the need for offline playback is not very high. But Sarandos did mention that Netflix is looking to test the feature in developing countries where a consistent internet connection is much harder to come by. Though Netflix didn't offer any further details on the matter, they did allude to the possibility the feature may take its way to all Netflix service countries sometime in the not-so-distant future.
Lafayette Utilities Systems, the local energy company located in Los Angeles County, has recently come under fire regarding their new solar panel tax. This past August, the utility company introduced a new anti-solar power policy, which increased rates on home units equipped with solar panel systems. Prior to the new policy, all customers were charged a flat $6 monthly service fee in addition to standard energy costs and fuel costs. But with this new policy introduces a new rate of nearly $30 for solar-equipped homes, which is a 500% increase of the original fee. Under this new structure, in some months of the year, it'd actually be more expensive to use renewable solar energy than buying directly from Lafayette Utilities, without even taking into account the principal investment of installing solar systems.
Okay, Tori, serious question. Are you a sandwich person?
Gotta say, I'm more of a burrito girl.
Well, I love sandwiches, and I love family-owned businesses, especially the one owned by former Chapman newsie Mandy Ortiz's family, and it's opening up their second sandwich shop, Subs and Grubs. We have reporter Fiona Zaring live on the scene. Fiona.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Chapman alum Mandy Ortiz and her mother, Dawnette. We are at Subs and Grub. This is their family's own sub shop. This is their second location in Orange County. Mandy, can you tell me a little bit about the process of getting this place open?
Yeah, you know, we've always talked about expanding, but had to be the right place at the right time. It's been about 4 months in the making, and it's been really cool to watch everything from working with an architect to drop the plans to the contractors building this place to today, having the mayor and everyone here ready to open.
And Dawnette, new location, did you guys add anything to the menu?
Yes, actually we've created a new sandwich specifically for Cyprus, and we've named it after Lincoln Avenue, which is directly in front of us. And the sandwich is honey ham, Swiss cheese, and dill pickles.
Wow, and you guys, we're actually really close to Chapman. So Mandy, is there any incentive for Chapman students to come on out here?
Of course. You know I love my Panthers, so I'm excited to sign up through the Chapman alumni website, and Chapman students can show their ID, and they buy a large sandwich, and they get a free Stewart soda. So be sure to introduce yourself, because you know I love my Chapman people.
And we have a third location, is that right, guys, coming out next week?
Yes, our third location will be in Los Alamitos, right by Los Alamitos High School. We'll be serving cupcakes there and ice cream as well.
Now, there's a ribbon cutting ceremony happening here later today. This is the first day they're open, so be sure to come stop by. Now, I couldn't leave without trying some sort of sandwich. Mandy, what do you have for me?
So she has to try the Lincoln Avenue, of course, so I'm going to give you that.
Good? Oh my gosh, you guys, so good. Everyone's got to come on out here. That's all we have from Cypress. This has been Fiona Zaring, Chapman News.
Thanks, Fiona, and good luck to the Ortiz family.
Wow, that Lincoln Avenue looks delicious, and now I'm hungry for a sub. The Leatherby Center is hosting a county-wide competition on November 12th called Demo Day. The competition will feature student businesses at Chapman and student businesses from other schools as they pitch their companies to potential investors at the event. Chapman-made companies competing include the GrandPad, an iPad designed for grandparents to use, and Ulingo, a marketplace for students to buy and sell goods and services from one another. Entries into the competition are due November 7th, and the showcase itself will be hosted in the Launch Labs facility.
The city of Buena Park celebrated their 3rd annual Cops and Goblins Festival on Monday. Reporter Fiona Zaring has more on the festivities.
The Buena Park Police Department held their 3rd annual Cops and Goblins Festival on Monday.
This is one of the things that we do to be able to give back to the community and have them come in and have a safe place to trick or treat, have a good time, and know that the police department is behind the community 100%.
The festival featured different game tents as well as a DJ booth, dance floor, and Italian ice truck.
There's a tour of the police station, and then we also have a haunted house maze designed for children, and it's a lot of fun for the community.
This year, around 2,000 people attended the festival.
They did it last year, everything ran smooth, and this year it's a lot put together better, and it's very nice. The kids are enjoying it.
This time of the year, everyone is having a lot of fun. We just want to make sure that everyone is safe, and we want to make sure everyone is abiding by the rules.
The Buena Park Police Station is already looking forward to next year's Cops and Goblins Festival. Reporting from Buena Park, this has been Fiona Zaring, Chapman News.
It's fall, but many college students here and elsewhere are focused on spring. They're launching their search for that all-important internship. As Caitlin Chan reports, with that internship quest comes a tough decision, paid or unpaid.
Hollywood, home to countless unpaid interns. These internships are crucial, but are they ethical? Students can't help but wonder if their free labor is really legal.
A lot of dishwashing and a lot of, like glamorous coffee runs.
2 interns sued Fox Searchlight Pictures after they believed their work on the set of the award-winning movie Black Swan should have been paid. Ultimately, Fox settled to pay the interns thousands of dollars after 5 years. The suit has made other big film and television companies nervous about intern compensation. Speaking with film students from multiple universities, the attitudes toward unpaid internships are all very similar. But how are students supposed to feel when they are receiving school credit?
But I got enough credits for that,
So I didn't get any school credit because I didn't want to have to pay the university over the summer to work for free.
So it's a 16-hour day to get 5 credits, and I'm like, I could just sit through 2 3-hour classes and get more credit than that.
Can these multi-million-dollar companies afford to pay their interns minimum wage? Whether they can or not is currently irrelevant because there are no laws against not paying interns if they are receiving school credit, nor are there any propositions for change. The role of paid internships in Hollywood are few, and as a result, very competitive. But students still partake in unpaid internships because they're still legal under the right circumstances. Reporting for Chapman News, I'm Caitlin Chan.
Tori, tell me, am I finally going to be able to rock my fall sweaters and boots this week?
I would hope so since it's November and all, and I also have some really cute sweaters to wear. But let's see what Cam has to tell us about this week's weather forecast.
Well, ladies, I wish I could say you could break out those sweaters, but that won't be the case just yet. Currently 80 degrees here in Orange, and it's pretty toasty for a November day. We're going to look at our Orange County forecast. As you can see here, 70s across the board, pretty smooth. 71 in Newport Beach, 73 in Laguna Beach, and 80 in Mission Viejo. Pretty mild across the board. Bringing it out to our greater SoCal forecast, same is said there. 70s across the board, 87 degrees though in Palm Springs, 69 degrees in Oceanside. If you plan on hitting Big Bear Lake, nice and cool up there at 57 degrees. Looking at our 5-day outlook, 70s across the board, 76 degrees today. Don't forget to turn your clocks back on Sunday, 74 degrees. And Monday, 75, and your hottest day of next week is going to be 79 on Election Day Tuesday, which is very exciting. Lows across the board, 60 and 61, and then your mid-50s for early next week. Looking at our national weather, pretty calm across the continental U.S., except for some heavy rains in the southwest in parts of Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. We're looking at 8 to 10 inches of rain, as well as flash floods. So there is a flash flood warning in effect there. Which means travel delays are going to be huge, and hopefully will be cleared up by next Tuesday for the election. People can get out and vote. And finally, this weekend, the Rams are back in town. The LA Rams are going to take on the Carolina Panthers. It's going to be 76 degrees and sunny at kickoff at 1:25. So I hope you can get out there. If not, it's going to be a great weekend to just hang out outside and get an extra hour of sleep because we're turning those clocks back, which is going to be fantastic. And that is all I have in the weather studio. Justin, what do you have for us in sports?
Things got chippy in Laverne as the Panthers look to move on in the SCIAC tournament. Can they pull off the upset against the second-seeded Leopards? And Nicole Renard was in Chicago to tell the stories of the night of Game 7. All that and more coming up on the Best Campus Sports Show.
Becoming an astronaut, 1 in 13,200,000. Odds of being struck by lightning, 1 in 576,000. Odds of dating a supermodel, 1 in 88,000. Odds of bowling a perfect game, 1 in 11,500. Odds of being trapped in an elevator, 1 in 24,528. Odds of catching a ball at a major league game, 1 in 563. Odds of an injury from shaving, 1 in 6,585. Odds of tripping while texting, 1 in 10. Odds of getting cancer in your lifetime, 1 in 2 men, 1 in 3 women.
It's up to us.
To change the odds for our generation.
For the ones we love. For our future.
If you don't like the odds, stand up. Stand up to cancer.
Disasters happen with little or no warning and often occur while you are away from home. Be ready for emergencies by registering your alternate phone numbers, cell phones, and email addresses at alertoc.com. You will receive alerts when an emergency occurs near your workplace or neighborhood.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Best Campus Sports Show. I'm Justin Maestas. Let's get things started. There was a party in the streets of the north side of Chicago after the Cubs won the World Series for the first time in 108 years. Luckily for us, Chapman News reporter Nicole Renard was in the Windy City to capture some of the stories the locals had to share.
Oh, I was in Wrigleyville. Couldn't even tell you the bar.
I was at Bernie's in Lincoln Park, or not Lincoln Park, Wrigleyville.
Actually, it was getting so late I was drifting off to sleep and I kept waking up, and yeah, I was afraid that the rain delay would push it way into the wee hours of the morning.
Wasn't sure if the day would ever come, but yes, we get to live the dream, I guess.
Are you a big Cubs fan?
I think. Came in last night for the to watch the game and hopefully celebrate, and it turned out to be a great night.
People are excited. This is their first World Series win in 108 years. We are so excited. I'm Nicole Renard, reporting from the Bean in Chicago for Chapman News.
A team that's also trying to win a championship this year, the Chapman's men's soccer team reached the semifinals for the 4th straight season. Last year, the Panthers hosted the Laverne Leopards and lost a heartbreaker 1-0. This year, they traveled to Laverne to see if they can get their revenge from a season ago. Let's take a look at the highlights. The Panthers, the 2 seed, Laverne, Actually, take that back. Laverne, the 3 seed. Panthers, the 2 seed. Let's take a look at the highlights now. Panthers get a free kick early on, and
just a few blocks from camp.
That's Chapman soccer, or Chapman hockey. Let's just say they won a good one. Elliot Braun had a goal. Later on, Jake Sarmiento had himself a second goal. We have the highlights. Look at that. Elliot Braun. I gave it up already. Elliot Braun hits this one hard, reaches the back of the net. Early 1-0 lead for the Panthers. His team's very pumped up right now. Scary moment here, though, as Cannon Kuhn falls down and gets a boot to the face. He was left bleeding. He saw red. So did Laverne Player. He gets sent off. Laverne play with 10 men. In the second half, it got a little chippy. Blood was started pumping, and let's just say frustrations boiled over. Elliot Braun takes a stab here at the Laverne defender. He gets the second yellow. That's a red card. Back at even strength at Laverne. But later on, as we end of the game, 1-0, no. Fanglambenny over to Jake Sarmiento. He gives it the 2-0 win over the Laverne Leopards. They play on Saturday to see if they can win the championship. But as we look on, another team, the women's soccer team, also had a crucial match a couple days ago, and they also pulled the upset. They were the 4 seed, faced off against the number 1 seed, 0-0 the whole game, went to PKs, and you can see the celebration there. They won it. Kristen Kleinow saved all 5 sage hand attempts, and senior Katie Bell scores the winning penalty to send them also into the finals. It's going to be a big Saturday coming up as we take a look coming up at the Saturday schedule. First starts off in the water, swimming and diving at Azusa Pacific at 11 a.m. as we continue in the water. Men's water polo, Ian Decker was telling me one of their biggest rivals should be a good one. Chapman football, go on the road, face the Stags at 1 p.m., and then the nightcap, the both soccer games at 7 p.m. The women play the Athenas, and the men go to Redlands to face the number 1 seed. To conclude our championship theme show, the Panthers are tying up their skates as they prepare for another season on the ice. Nikki Lorenzen caught up with the defending champions of the California Collegiate Hockey League, that's hard to say, and shows just how tough claiming another title will be.
Just a few blocks from campus, a team exists that few Chapman students are aware of, but those who know the secret know its value.
It's the best you're going to find if you're looking to watch college hockey on the West Coast. As far as West Coast hockey, this is as good as it gets. There's no Division I in California at all. We play ACHA Division II hockey, and at that, there's not really any higher college level hockey on the West Coast. We really do play in the most elite college hockey league on the West Coast. So just that passion on and off the ice for each other, just sort of, it's just really strong. It's like a family relationship.
They play big name teams.
UCLA, Cal State Fullerton, Long Beach, Northridge, UC San Diego, and Santa Barbara on our schedule. At least for this year's team, we have a solid group. We have, a great group of returning sixth-year players now. We also have a solid group of younger kids that are on the team.
Freshmen, law students, and a full-time LAPD officer.
I generally have to wake up at 4 in the morning, which I did today, work probably 16 hours, get home, get something to eat, and then head straight to practice, and then I wake up the next day at 4 in the morning.
She's a grad student. Tyler and I are both law students in our second years. You really make some of your best friends out here on the ice when you're going out to battle. Hockey's a very physical sport. And
so our fun is coming out here to play, dedicating our time to the team, helping the team grow, and keeping this thing alive,
Nikki Lorenzen and Tim Wolf, Chapman News.
I gotta tell you, there's some really solid facial hair on that team. Not only that mustache, but good luck to all the Panther teams. Tomorrow should be a big Saturday. That's it for me for sports. Nicole, what's going on in entertainment?
There is so much going on in entertainment, Justin. Coming up, be our guest as we finally show you the newly released photos from the Beauty and the Beast film. Plus, the CMA Awards celebrated 50 years, and we have a recap of the big night. So stay tuned. I'm Nicole Renard, and you're watching Chapman News.
Follow your dreams. Chapman University. Chemistry, physics, computational science, biology. Start doing research in your first year. Soar to new heights. The Schmid College of Science at Chapman University. Explore.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Welcome back to Chapman News. I'm Jessica Metter.
And I'm Tori White. Jess, did you see what happened at the Country Music Awards this week?
Yeah, I did. Beyonce was there. I don't know why, but I'm not mad about it.
I know. Well, let's see what else happened at the CMAs and more in entertainment with Nicole. Nicole?
Thanks, Tori. It was the night of nights in Nashville for country music yesterday evening. The Country Music Association celebrated 50 years of country music and gave out awards to well-deserving artists. Superstars Brad Paisley and Carrie Underwood hosted for the 9th consecutive year. Some of the top winners were Carrie Underwood for Best Female Vocalist. Maren Morris took home the CMA Award for the Best New Artist. And Male Vocalist of the Year went to Chris Stapleton. It was a night of celebration, and even Beyonce was there and performed with the Dixie Chicks. The biggest award of the night went to Garth Brooks for Entertainer of the Year.
I want to thank the CMAs, very, very sweet. Thank you for a wonderful, wonderful run. Can't do it without the buildings, can't do it without how they treat the people. The people, thank you so much for showing up for this tour.
Congratulations to all the winners. Now on to the big screen. It's a tale as old as time. These newly released photos from the live-action Beauty and the Beast film prove this Disney classic is timeless as ever. Thanks to Entertainment Weekly. Be our guest and take a look at Emma Watson as Belle for the very first time in that iconic yellow gown. We also get the first glimpses of Dan Stevens as the Beast. The film looks simply enchanting. Luke Evans as Gaston and Josh Gad as Les Faux make a great duo. And who can forget Lumiere and Mrs. Potts? Gracing the cover of this week's Entertainment Weekly is Beauty and the Beast themselves, bringing all of the magic right before our eyes. The film is set to hit theaters March 17th, 2017, and I cannot wait. Well, it's Friday, and so we're looking ahead toward the weekend. One way to start it off is by going to see the new Trolls movie. The DreamWorks animated film stomps into theaters today. It stars Anna Kendrick as Poppy, the optimistic leader of the Trolls, and Justin Timberlake as Branch, the total opposite of Poppy. In the film, the two head out on an adventure that leads them to a world much different than anything they've ever known. It also features original music from Timberlake with Can't Stop the Feeling. That's your very latest in entertainment. I'm Nicole Bernard. Now back to the desk.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. Thanks, Nicole. Tori, I've never asked you. Do you have any pets?
Only the most beautiful cat in the whole entire world, but I've been kind of wanting to get another.
Well, you're in luck because Darby Brown is live at OC Animal Care and is about to tell us how you can adopt a new furry friend for free.
Hey guys, we're here at the OC Animal Care Center where they are waiving the adoption fees for all of their animals. They're doing this because they are completely overcrowded. They've been operating at 95% capacity and they have almost 630 animals inside their shelter right now. Now that's almost 200 animals than even the busiest times of year. This is not a new problem for this shelter as it houses animals for over 14 cities in Orange County. And by the end of 2017, the good news is there will be another shelter to hold more of these animals, but for now, they really need your help. So come on out here. It's a beautiful day. There's lots of animals that are waiting to meet you. And once again, it'll waive that adoption fee, which usually ranges from anywhere from $160 to $77, depending on the kind of animal. So there's plenty of great animals. They want to meet you, and you should come out here. We're at 561 The City Drive at the OC Animal Center. From Orange, I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Thanks, Darby.
I think I don't have a choice. I think I have to get another cat.
Yeah, I think you do. Log on to our website, chapmannews.tv, to see all of our episodes, Chapman Newsies bios, and top headlines.
And make sure you follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Chapman News, Twitter and Instagram at Chapman News, and YouTube at youtube.com/Chapman News.
Make sure to join us Tuesday night for 3 hours of election coverage between 8 and 11.
Your only place in Orange County for live election results, interviews, and reports in the field. It should be a historic night.
I'm Jessica Metter. Thanks so much for joining us.
And I'm Tori White. Have a safe and fun weekend, and we'll see you next week.